Wishing I could wrap my whole life up in 24 carats of gold. Lately I've been dreaming about diamonds and pearls, yep, diamonds and pearls, and enough money.
Prophet of family, prophet of men, and insight. Ladies and gentlemen, a longtime member of the Mason Nation for many years, Yusef Shakur. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man.
Angie's in Tennessee. So.
Hey,
yeah.
Angie.
How you been?
I've been good, man. Grinding. New look, new book.
You look like Jim Brown. I'm just telling you, man. You look like Jim Brown. That is good stuff. So, new look, new book.
Yes.
Bring us up to date. What's the new book called?
New book is called Redemptive Soul, the Yusef Shakur reader. So it's the combination of my first book and my second book, The Windows of My Soul and My Soul Looks Back. So it's the complete journey of where I'm at now. Post-prison, family, meet my father. Everybody looked like, dang, Yusef doing this and doing that, but the backdrop of the hurt, the pain of being a father, but also to really look like I'm doing this because of the inspiration God has placed in me. I have no grants, I have no foundation, none of that, but I have a foundation of God and the vision that He's blessed me with to do this work.
You've been doing this work now, Yusef, how long?
I've been home out of prison 13 years. So for a lot of folks who aren't familiar with me, the work started inside of prison with the relationship that me and my father developed within there. And so to impact me to do that and then coming home, getting my bearings together, writing my first book, graduating from college, opening up the bookstore, doing the backpack giveaway every year. So out here, it's been 13 years.
I want to help some people with the story.
Okay.
So let's go back and tell them about what happened, starting with you and your mother and going to prison and your dad.
By the age of 13, I've been kicked out of every Detroit public school I ever went to. By the age of 15, my mother had made me a ward of the state. And she made that decision based upon the poor decisions that I was making, the trouble that occurred between me and her, and the challenges that she was going through. My mother, she would drink, raising 3 kids by herself, lacked a lot of things in her life, but definitely loved me to death. And she saw something I didn't see, which I was probably going to get killed, kill someone, or ultimately go to prison. And so not having anyone to turn to for help, she turned to the system. Like, can you save my son from himself? Coming home from that situation, I came home with the idea to do good, but I didn't fix the things internally, the anger, the hurt, those things that I was in prison to. So which ultimately led me to go to prison for a crime I didn't do. And while in there, I met my father, the guy who I knew as a sperm donor.
Now, I don't want people to miss that.
Yes.
You're incarcerated.
Yes.
They walk you into a prison, and at some point you meet
my father. Transformed his life prior to me getting there. So the lessons that he passed on me was redemption. But more importantly,
were you acceptive of that at first?
Early on, how it began, I wrote him a letter. In that letter, I'm seeking some type of guidance, some type of help, but I don't know how to articulate, express myself because my mind is in the streets. So in the process, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hear one of my told you speeches. So I'm being confrontational, but not realizing and showing my own ignorance. And there's nothing wrong with being ignorant because we're all ignorant to something.
Yes.
But it's a problem when you make ignorance a way of life, and I made it a way of life. So in my own ignorance, I'm not even realizing when that letter slid up under his door and it said my name and my number, the agony and the hurt and the shame that he felt. And also being in prison and knowing, I possibly could get raped. I possibly could get stabbed. So at that moment, he's trying to protect me. He's trying to nurture me. And so when he wrote me back, I couldn't comprehend a lot of things he was saying, but I definitely comprehended the love and the warmth. And those things jumped out at me, and it hugged me, knowing that I've been let down. And my mother wasn't there. My father was there. She had raised me, and my ability to survive in the streets was watching my mother survive through abusive relationships, doing what she had to do to make sure. So to get to this point, I needed my father. And so my mother is my hero, my father is my mentor.
An amazing story. And you spend how much time in prison?
I spent 9 years. I earned my GED, Again, I've been home 13 years. Actually, January 3rd of this year, I celebrated 13 years of being home.
You came home and went right to work on youth.
Yes, absolutely.
And some didn't believe that that's what you were really up to.
No, again, and when you look at black men, or black people in particular in America, we are harder on ourselves than anybody else. And so my reputation of being a Zone 8 gang member of JoJo, which is the gang I once co-founded, that's what people saw. So again, when you look at 13 years later, 4 books, a bookstore, giving away over 5,000 backpacks. So that
a documentary,
as well. So that disbelief turns into belief.
Yeah.
Again, and that this journey has been the hardest of my life because of not having the material support, but definitely it allows me to have a closer relationship with God. Because when I don't have a financial budget, I have a budget of hope, a budget of love.
When we met, you had already had a video documentary.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
And you had the book. You were busy. You came right out and you were serious. And you waited in the hot sun for 2.5, 3 hours to have a conversation with Angie and I about what your intentions were.
Absolutely.
But when we met, he didn't say hello. He said, "Hey, here's the documentary. You need to see this, but I need to talk to you." And you patiently waited all that time. You immediately started working with kids. You hit the air with us. You started mentoring parents' sons. Mm-hmm. But then we get to the book pack drive. Mm-hmm. How'd that come about?
Again, servicing, my community the way I wish someone had serviced it when I was a little boy. Everything I've been able to do, an author, public speaker, community organizer, none of that means anything if I cannot impact my community.
Sure.
The kids that's growing up the way I get. Prestige means nothing if we can't funnel it back and save some lives, impact some lives, and transform some lives. And what makes the backpack giveaway so unique, I do it right at my mom's house.
Yes,
I do it right in the heart of Zone 8. People do stuff at Belle Isle, but again, we want to impact people on the ground level. Then we need to do events and things there. So
you've had several events there at the house.
Yeah, the backpack has been 6 years straight, 9 years overall. This year coming up will be our 7th. For the last 5 years we've given away 500 backpacks, all filled with school supplies. We feed the family, we provide them with live entertainment. Again, the greatest thing that's missing in our community here in the city of Detroit is love. And that's what's in those backpacks. That's love, that's hope. Kids, my youngest son is 9 years old. That's all he's seen. He's grown up in there. So his expectation, it's the same way when your grandmother say you need to say yes and no. Those are expectations of how to behave, how to respect yourself. So how do we create peace? We show them what peace is.
You it's been 12, 13 years back on the ground. What do you know now that you did not know when you first started this crusade?
Knowledge of self, my value, and accountability and the obligation that people die. Like we say that, but do we really comprehend what does that mean? Someone paid away for a Mason to have a Mason radio.
Right.
Malcolm X created a vehicle for me to tell my story. To be compared to his. It allowed for a Yusef Shakur, a Shaka Senghor, a Sanyika Shakur out of L.A., a life of L.A. gang member. These lives that was tragic, but out of that tragedy came atonement. Out of that tragedy came redemption, and that redemption is going back to our community. Who's better to fix those problems than us? So what I've learned is that I've always been a leader. I've learned that I've always been a warrior. I've learned how to be a warrior for my people. I've learned how to be a leader for my family and for my people, and how to make a difference.
Yeah, you from the moment we met you were different. You were not forceful. You were firm in your conversation, but you were different. You meant every moment.
Again, when we look at history, we're repeating it in some form or some fashion, positively or negatively. So in prison, I began to read about the Black Panther Party. And there was one individual that stood out to me, and this individual name was Al Prentice Bunchy Carter. He was a leader of the Slauson gang in L.A. prior to the Crips and Bloods. Bunchy ultimately ended up going to prison. While in prison, he transforms his life. He redeems his life. He comes out. He joined the Black Panther Party. He was the founding member of the L.A. chapter. He was assassinated January 17, 1969, hands of the COINTELPRO, led by the American government. So again, in being a change agent, I want to identify someone that shoes I can walk in. So when I hear my name, Bunchy, it reminds me what my mission is, what my accountability is, what the obligations of my community. So when you say Bunchy, it's like a bunch of greens.
Yeah, I hear you. You are a. I'm a little older than you. I grew up in that Black Panther movement. Right. You are more like them.
Absolutely.
Than your generation. That's interesting because that's like almost a 40-year, 45-year difference.
And it's funny that you can recognize that, because in prison that's who I transformed and wanted to be. And coming home, I came home to make a difference. In the process of making a difference, I became popular. Complete change. I believe in making a difference in my community. I believe in a black agenda. I'm not anti-white. I'm anti-racism. I'm anti-white supremacy. I'm about far as building human communities, but again, looking at the most impacted, which is black and brown people. So that energy was again, when you look at Bunchy 26 when he got assassinated, Fred Hampton in Chicago 21 when he got assassinated. So imagine growing up, if I knew about them, and during your time when they destroyed the Black Panther Party, that's when they ushered in the Mac. They ushered in Superfly. So young brothers, they didn't want to be Huey and H-Rap no more. Right. They wanted to be Mac. They wanted to be, and that was a design plot. So when you fast forward, and we wonder why young men are behaving the way they are. We lack proper leadership in our community. Leadership that has a value system. When you say being a revolutionary, that was a value system that was dedicated and committed to being to people. Like, people want to be community activists, but people don't want to be freedom fighters. Those are two different things. So when you say you're a freedom fighter, you're willing to sacrifice for the people. You're not a leader of the people, you're a leader for the people, because the people have selected you based upon your commitment and your desire to service them. And the concept of restoring the neighbor back to the hood is us being neighborly, us loving each other. Many of us don't even say the word neighborhood no more. We say, I'm from this hood, right. I'm from that hood. And when you say that, we have to recognize that you're honoring a lifestyle that is not conducive to being human beings. When you said neighborhood, that's honoring human beings. That's honoring mothers. That's us honoring each other. And it just has a different feel. I mean, you got people who live next door to each other now that don't even know each other. If I could pull up with the U-Haul and you think I'm moving, but I'm robbing because there's no connection. I mean, when once upon a time, you can send your son to go get some sugar, go get some Kool-Aid. Now you send somebody next, you might get shot because there's no longer a neighborhood, there's hood. And that's the work, is restoring the neighbor back to the hood.
Beautiful, beautiful. Good to see you, Yusef.
It's great to see you, man. And thank you for your support. Even as you told the story about me being patient, thank you for having the patient ears, you and Angie, and also seeing something. You saw that rough, the diamond in the rough, and give me an opportunity, because you all gave me the foundation to stand on. Because actually, the backdrop to the story, I just got laid off from work. So if I don't make those book sales, in the sense of far as this journey that I was starting, and that's the beauty of it too. Everything I'm doing, I'm learning on the go. And so being able to meet folks like you, Angie, and other folks to help me, mentor me, nurture me, and I think that makes all the difference in our community.
You are a freedom fighter. Yusef, Bunchy, Shakur. We'll be right back.
Yeah, good. Wishing I could wrap my whole life up in 24 carats of gold. Lately I've been dreaming about diamonds and pearls. Yep, diamonds and pearls. And enough money I could rule the world. If I rule the world, yeah, if I rule the world. It got me thinking, man, if I rule the world.